I'm Alex Rocco with sports. After getting back into the win column last weekend, Penn State football packs its bags and hits the road for a battle against Maryland tomorrow. After getting off to a fast 6-0 start, the 11th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions have run into some challenges in their last two games. First was a brutal 20-12 loss at Ohio State. Then, they struggled last week at home, beating Indiana by just 9 points. Once again, Penn State's offense failed to move the ball down the field until quarterback Drew Aller connected with Keandre Lambert-Smith for a 57-yard touchdown late in the contest. Despite the long score, Aller says the offense needs to be more consistent this weekend when the team travels to Maryland.
It's really frustrating when you can't get going as fast as you would have liked, but there was just simple things again that we were missing or not doing in the beginning, and then we finally fixed those things and were able to adjust to what they were doing.
And it wasn't just the offense that struggled against the Hoosiers. The defense allowed a 67-yard and a 90-yard touchdown, the two longest plays of the year for Indiana.
You had one play where a guy made a phenomenal throw and the receiver made a great catch and run. They're going to make plays too. They're on scholarship too, right? And then the other one was a blown assignment. So, is this going to be a challenge this week for a number of reasons? No doubt about it.
In last year's 30-0 shutout win over Maryland, Penn State tallied 7 sacks. They'll likely need the same kind of pressure this week. Kickoff is tomorrow at 3:30 p.m., and you can listen to the game live on Penn State Com Radio with our broadcast team in College Park, Maryland. Penn State football's schedule for next year is out, and boy, is it a tough one. It includes home games against UCLA, Washington, and Ohio State, and away games at USC, at Wisconsin, at West Virginia, and others. It also includes 2 bye weeks. Playoffs for high school football kick off this week. Let's see where the action takes place tonight. The 6-4 Tyrone Golden Eagles will travel to Penn Cambria to challenge the 8-2 Panthers tonight at 7. And the 5-5 Mifflin County Huskies play host to the 4-6 Altoona Mountain Lions at Mitchell Field. Catch these games and more during our sports show After the Whistle tonight at 11:30 on our Belisario Student Media YouTube channel. Penn State men's and women's soccer teams are playing in their respective Big Ten tournaments this weekend. The women's team will not be advancing to the championship, however, after losing their match last night 1-0 against Iowa in the semifinals. But the men's team is starting their tournament run at 6 tonight in the quarterfinals at home against Rutgers. Penn State men's basketball will open their new season on Monday in a home contest against the Delaware State Hornets. The game will serve as a Nittany Lion debut for transfer point guard Ace Baldwin Jr. and newly hired head coach Mike Rhodes. Then the team will host Lehigh next Friday. Penn State men's hockey plays Notre Dame tomorrow and Sunday at Pagula Ice Arena as the Big Ten season opens. The Nittany Lions are 5-2 this season and are coming off a series split against Alaska Anchorage last week. Coach Guy Gadowski is looking to bounce back against the Irish.
I think I would rather have an honest hockey game and not be able to score than cheat the play and get a few lucky ones. Not lucky ones, but I think we probably deserved more goals yesterday than we did today.
Tomorrow's game against the Irish is at 7:30, and Sunday's face-off is at 4:30. Digging in is the aforementioned second baseman Kyle Edwards. Edwards hitting .284, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. It's his 34th game played this summer. Bond out of the windup. His first pitch to Edwards, taken right down the middle for strike 1.
This isn't the first time that Bond will face the Tom Sox lineup this season. Back in the first matchup between these two teams, all the way back at the beginning of the summer on June the 7th, Bond went two-thirds of an inning in that game, gave up 3 runs, only 1 earned on 1 hit, and did walk a batter. So has some experience against some of the guys that have been here since the beginning for the Tom Sox.
One of those guys is Kyle Edwards as he watches the next pitch from Bond. Cross for strike number 2. Bond peers in, gets a sign from his catcher in Drake Bicknell. The 0-2 tried to get the outside corner, doesn't get the call. Edwards still up at the dish with the count 1-2.
Edwards didn't start the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. He's been dealing with a little bit of arm fatigue, meaning he's been playing some first and second base recently rather than his traditional shortstop spot, but still consistent at the plate.
Edwards fouls that one off right off the mask of Bicknell. You mentioned Kyle getting some reps at first base, playing second base today, and he's been a rock at shortstop, but we've really seen Connor Hinks play excellent defense all year long, and now he's getting the opportunity to thrive at shortstop with Edwards dealing with some arm fatigue.
Yeah, and Connor's been able to play anywhere on this infield, even played left field briefly at the beginning of the season, so really the do-it-all guy for Lyndon Coleman and this Tom Sox staff, and Edwards, same thing. He's played now all the infield positions as well, just scattering guys in and out of different positions. That's what summer ball has to turn into sometimes, pretty much just putting guys where you can get your best athletes, best defenders out on the field as Bicknell's a little shaken up behind the plate.
And Edwards fouled that last pitch right off and hit Bicknell there, and just talking things over and making sure that his catcher is okay is the head coach, Mike Bocock. Bicknell looks like he will be okay, staying in the game now, is set to resume play here. Edwards still in that 1-2 count. Kyle has really had a successful season so far, hitting .284, flashed some power with 3 home runs, 19 RBIs, and you have to mention the speed with Kyle Edwards. 20 stolen bases, only been caught once this year, and like in the infield, he's really done it all at the dish, that prototypical leadoff hitter for Lyndon Coleman.
Yeah, and he's been at the top of the lineup for all but about a week of the season between games he had hit in the 9 spot and games that he missed. He's had a hit in 21 of the 33 games he's played so far this year.
Bond goes with the breaking ball and gets Edwards to expand the zone as he is sat down for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Number 30, Connor Hinks.
Now it's the shortstop, Connor Hinks, digging in. Hinks hitting second today after Bryce Martinez sitting out in game number 1. It's typically been Edwards and Martinez at the top of the Tom Sox order so far, but Hinks getting a crack here in the number 2 hole, and he watches the first pitch run inside for ball number 1 from Jarrett Bond. Bond out of the lineup, the 1-0 to Hinks. That one misses low and in the dirt.
And the approach for Connor has really transformed over the past 3 weeks or so. He was really struggling over the first month and some change of the season. Average was in the low 200s, 200 to 210 range. But recently he started to take the approach of being more patient at the plate, not swinging at so many pitches early in the count. You saw right there in this at-bat, he took the first 2 pitches to get to a 2-0 count. He's drawn a walk in 8 straight games, 9 of his last 10. His average has shot all the way up to 283, and his OPS is near 800 as well. Just a complete 180 for Hinks coming from the middle of this lineup, now being able to put him in that 2 spot at the top.
Hinks watches the next pitch from Bond. Get in there for strike number 2, and just like that, from 2-0 to 2-2 goes Jarrett Bond. Looking to put away Hinks for the second out of the inning. The 2-2 pitch. Hinks fouls this one off his hands and out of play. You mentioned the patience that he's had at the plate. 28 walks so far through 35 games, and you mentioned the average shooting up. Even his extra base hits, too. He's putting a lot more hard contact, and it's benefited the Tom Sox. The 2-2 from Bond to Hinks, breaking ball, got him looking. Jarrett Bond, back-to-back strikeouts to open the game, and just like that, 2 quick outs here in this bottom half of the inning. 1:45 and counting left in the half. Ball on the 16-yard line here. 2 receivers near side, 2 receivers on the far side. Allen once again off the left hip of Clifford. He now moves off of his right hip here. Aller now redirecting at the line of scrimmage, takes the snap, looking to pass, completes it over the middle of the field as Penn State moves the chains there. Keandre Lambert-Smith on the snag. And Lambert-Smith looks to be in a bit of discomfort on the far side right at that 30-yard line marker.
And that's not good for Penn State. Keandre Lambert-Smith, he's been the bona fide number one receiver within this offense since day one. And now that's two of your top players. Chop Robinson defensively. Now Keandre Lambert-Smith is down. And that precedence on getting someone to step up seems to just grow a little bit more here. I couldn't tell what the discomfort was. He was moving around and then dropped to the ground and kind of he tried to get up, but it just stayed down, and now he's popped back up. Maybe it might have been a stinger. It's just one of those plays you don't really know, but he'll take a play off. It's nice to see him back up on his feet, though.
Lambert-Smith picked up the first down on a 15-yard completion. That's his second snag of the day. Dante Cephas now in for Keandre Lambert-Smith. 1:15 left here in the first half. 1st and 10, ball on the 31-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Nittany Lions. Aller claps his hands, drops back to pass, looking to take a deep shot down the field. That was toward Liam Clifford, but Aller sails the pass way out of bounds.
And Keandre Lambert-Smith, though, coming back on the field there. Dante Cephas will head out. That's a play there with Aller. He stepped up in the pocket. He kind of threw on the move with his forward momentum. That's a point there where I'd like to see him just set his feet and fire one, depending on where he was trying to go.
2nd and 10, 1:03 left. Ohio State leads 10-6 here in the first half. Penn State still in the shotgun formation. Katron Allen off the right hip of Drew Allen. 2 receivers near side, 2 receivers far side. Ohio State sending pressure. Aller looking for Tyler Warren. Nearly had the completion there, but excellent coverage by the Buckeyes secondary, which forces 3rd and 10 with under a minute to go.
Yeah, Warren got to the top of his route and just wasn't looking for the ball.
The Buckeye faithful getting loud here on 3rd and 10. Ball on the Penn State 31-yard line. 3rd and 10 to go. Liam Clifford now, the man in motion, goes from the far side to the near side. Trips on the near side of the field for Penn State. 1 lone receiver on the far side. Aller back to pass. Has all the time in the world. Now scrambles out on the near side looking for Trey Wallace. And that's nearly intercepted. Goes through the hands of Davison Igbinison. But a big stop for the Buckeyes and forcing Riley Thompson and Penn State's punting unit to come onto the field.
Yeah, he scrambled outright, did a nice job of evading the pressure, and then Josh Proctor comes in late. Just nowhere to go with that pass. The coverage has been absolutely outstanding by this Ohio State secondary today.
Riley Thompson on a punt for the blue and white. Jaden Ballard back to receive for Ohio State as Thompson's punt takes a bounce on the near side of the field, goes out of bounds right around that 15-yard line. So Ohio State will take over with 42 seconds left in the half.
It's a great punt by Riley Thompson. He's got that Australian style where he moves to his right, and he sent it cross field, low line drive, made it tough for Ballard to pick up on it. He let it bounce, and it bounces inside of Ohio State's 20. They'll mark it at their own 17. So 42 seconds. This is an offense that can move the ball quickly, but it does not look like they're going to take that chance here.
And Ohio State looking like they will just take a knee to end out the half. 42 seconds left. McCord takes a snap, drops down on a knee. That appears that'll do it for the first half here in Columbus as Ohio State heading off the field to their own locker room as they take a 10-6 lead after 30 minutes of play here inside the shoe.